come into order. Ben, call the roll.
Senators Fitzwater,
Here.
Brown, Bean, Eigel, Schrazer, Schroer, Williams.
Okay, you should. I mean, these should all be ready.
Yeah, because we don't have, we have to have a quorum.
Oh, okay.
One
We have. No, we don't. Okay. All right. I move that we go into executive session. Do I have a second? We have having a second. We're in executive session. I move that House Bill 94 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. We're trying to work out how we're going to do this to add 94, 130, and 882 into one bill. We have a Senate committee sub that has Senate Bill 127, which is Holly Rader's naming bill stuff. Just trying to figure out how to combine those three into one. I know this isn't the combined numbers. This is just a.
Title, you can make just a motion to amend the title to reflect all of it.
Okay, so I'm gonna make. Do you want me to do that now, or do I need to adopt the sub? Okay, so we have a substitute. You should have been emailed this. It should be before you. It ends in O2S, O2F, or C. Sorry, O2C. And do I have a second on that? So that is before us. I'm gonna make a motion that we amend the title to include all the House bill numbers. Does that work? House. Okay, so House Bill 130 and House Bill 882 will be added to the titles of these. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You've adopted that amendment to the sub. Any discussion on underlying sub? Okay, so I have to roll that into a new substitute. Any discussion on the new substitute? I'd make that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. We've adopted a new substitute. Any discussion on the new substitute, which will have Senate Bill 127 and all Holly Rader, Senator Rader's stuff, House Bill 94, 130, and 882. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, Ben, call the roll.
Senators Fitzwater,
Aye.
Brown, Bean, Eigel, Razor, Schroer, Williams.
All right, you voted 4-0. You voted do pass. Senate committee substitute for is it a House committee sub? Or just House bill for House Bills 94, 130, and 882 as amended. All right, and now we're going to go to House Bill 47. I move that House Bill 47 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. I move that House Bill 47 be voted out of committee do pass. Do I have a second? Having a second. This is the bill we heard last week from Representative Haley to help bring us in line with new surveying methods. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ben, call the roll.
Senators Fitzwater,
Aye.
Brown, Bean, Eigel, Razor, Schroer, Williams.
By your vote of 4-0, you voted do pass House Bill 47. I now move that House Bill 81 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. This bill was presented last week by Representative Veit regarding background checks. We do have a committee substitute ending in .06C. I move that we adopt the substitute. Do I have a second? Have a second. Any discussion on the substitute? This just has become a public safety bill. Department of Public Safety bill. So we kind of made the substitute, dialed in the title a little bit to make it more specific so it doesn't get out of control, because we want this to be a vehicle to get this one done if it gets to the floor. Any discussion on this bill? We added a couple things the Highway Patrol has asked for. Discussion, seeing none. What's that? They've all passed the Senate, so these are things that have been considered before. Seeing no discussion, Ben, call the roll. I'm sorry, all those in favor of adopting the substitute, say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. You've adopted the substitute. I now move that we vote do pass Senate committee substitute for House Bill 81. Discussion? Having a second? No discussion. Ben, call the roll.
Senators Fitzwater,
Aye.
Brown, Bean, Eigel, Razor, Schroer, Williams.
By your vote of 4-0, you voted Senate Committee substitute for House Bill 81 do pass. I now move that Senate Bill 560 be voted do pass. Do I have, I'm sorry, I asked that we bring it before the committee. Do I have a second? Have a second. I move that Senate Bill 560 be voted out of committee, do pass. Do I have a second? Having a second, this is a bill we heard from Senator Schroer last week regarding transportation insurance liability. Any discussion? Seeing none, Ben, call the roll.
Senators Fitzwater.
Aye.
Brown. Bean. Eigel. Razor. Schroer. Williams.
Transportation. 5-0. By your vote of 5-0, you voted do pass Senate Bill 560. I move that House Bill 1015 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say, we don't need to do that. The bill is before the committee. This bill was presented last week by Representative Meyers regarding law enforcement practices. We do have a committee substitute ending in .03C. 04C. I'm sorry, 04C, because I think we added Senator Razor's, Blair's law, and we'll talk about that in a second. So I move that we adopt that substitute. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? So in this substitute is the underlying 03C that we sent out a couple days ago, but also Senator Razor asked that he can include Blair's law in his EMT language, which we voted on. We've had several times in several different forms. That, you know, they're the same forms, but we voted on them several times. Any discussion on the substitute? Seeing none, all those in favor of the substitute say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. You have adopted the Senate Committee substitute. Is there any discussion on the, I now move that we vote do pass Senate Committee substitute for House Bill 1015. And any discussion? Having a second? Seeing none, Ben, call the roll.
Senators Fitzwater.
Aye.
Brown. Bean. Eigel. Razor. Schroer. Williams.
4-0. By your vote of 4-0, you voted do pass Senate Committee substitute for House Bill 1015. That is all the bills in our committee for today. I move that we move out of executive session. Do I have a second? Having a second, we are out of executive session. Now we'll conclude the hearing on transportation, infrastructure, and public safety. Okay.